welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be doing a Scooby-Doo puzzle, 1,000 pieces. I want to thank y'all to my first live stream. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Usually when I get puzzles, it comes with a poster where I usually hang so I can kind of have a good idea of what I'm doing. This one comes with a small, tiny poster, so I'm going to use the box as a reference. So I'm going to put that up there so I can see it. I'm also not a super duper professional puzzle maker, so I'm not going to be able to finish this puzzle in 45 minutes that a lot of people are able to do. So the first thing I do when I get any new puzzle, usually of course it comes enclosed in plastic, but I did open it to do a few trial runs of this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and empty it out. My dog likes to snack on these, so I need to make sure I don't drop any. And what I do is I'm going to go ahead and separate the edge pieces. So I'm going to look for all my edge pieces in this mess of a puzzle. I'm also going to use the other box, or the other part of the box, to kind of put my extra pieces in, so I don't have a big mess everywhere. So I'm just looking for my edge pieces here. It's supposed to be a lot easier when you have your edge pieces first. At first I didn't think so, and I would just kind of work it. And then I actually watched a few videos on the easiest way to do a puzzle. And I figured out, hey, you know, it is the easiest way. Do the edges first. So I am just going through looking for those edge pieces. I chose Scooby-Doo to be my first puzzle. I am a child at heart and I love cartoons. And I love Scooby-Doo. So this was one of the main reasons why I picked this puzzle. And it seemed like a very easy puzzle to do. And I didn't want my first puzzle to be super difficult. So that's why I chose this puzzle. I also am very happy with this puzzle. I like how it's like a matte finish and not really too glossy. And I like, so weird, but I like the way it feels, like it's not super slippery like other puzzles are. Very happy with that. This is the part that does take a while, is trying to kind of get all those edge pieces out. I want to thank everyone who took some time out of their day to watch me today. Like I said, I'm probably not going to get this puzzle done today, but I am going to go ahead and do as much as I can before I start boring you all. I've watched a few videos where they tell me when I'm putting my puzzle pieces back in my box to kind of put them upside so it's easier for you to find them. I just throw them in the box. You know, I don't know if anyone's ever separated beans like to cook. It's kind of the same way, I feel, kind of putting away the ones you don't need. Here's another edge piece, another edge piece. And the reason I thought this puzzle would be very easy, or not very easy, but quite easy to do, is I've noticed when there's different colors, it's easier to do a puzzle. I did a puzzle a while ago where it was, most of it was brown, and to find those pieces was very difficult. Like on this one, probably the edges are going to be the hardest to do because it's all yellow, but because it has the words, it's going to be easier for us to find those pairs that go together. Yes, Monica, they should have some boxes that the edges are already separated. It'd be so much easier because after watching a lot of videos, oh sorry, here's an edge piece, on making puzzles, a lot of people start with the edges. It would be so much easier. There's also a lot of puzzles that have letters on the back. So it's like one part's all A, one part's all B, C, D. Those, for me, are my favorite because they're so fast and easy to work. You work all of A, you know these are all A, you know these are all B. Those are my favorite. Another edge piece to work. And you could actually finish those in a day. One of those puzzles, even I would say in 2 hours, if you're just sitting there working that puzzle all that time, you'd be able to finish it in like 2 hours. Not an edge piece. So like I said, this part is what does take the longest. It's just separating the puzzle, trying to get the pieces you need. And the good thing looking at the edges, I kind of know I'm looking for yellow because the whole box, the edge is yellow. So I know there's not going to be a lot of color in the edges. That also helps trying to figure out what pieces I want to take out. Just some Scooby-Doo trivia. I don't know if y'all know, but Scooby-Doo did first air Saturday mornings on CBS. I was not born yet when it first came out. First came out in 1969, but I remember watching it growing up. The reboots and the remakes, the movies. And I gotta say, I do love my Scooby-Doo. And if you have any suggestions on the type of puzzles you'd like me to see, you'd like to watch me do, please let me know. Leave it in the comments, or also on my channel, there's a link to my email. You can go to just send me an email and I will look for those puzzles. I've done Star Wars, I've done The Child. That was very difficult. That was the one that was mostly all brown and green. And to be honest, that one took me forever. And I actually had to get some help from my boyfriend to help me with that because I could not, like, it was getting so frustrating because it was all the same color. And then I'd be like, this looks like it fits. And I try to force it. It didn't fit. So learn my lesson, especially when you try to make them fit, sometimes you warp the puzzle and you don't get like a nice flat and finished product. So I've learned that the hard way. Don't force the puzzle pieces. you will not have a pretty finished product. I also just finished a 1500 piece puzzle. I did the villains of Disney. That one was also super, super, super difficult because there's so many of the same colors. No, Monica, I have not done a 3D puzzle, but I saw a 3D puzzle of Hogwarts from the Harry Potter series that I really want to get. I think that one I am going to go ahead and do it on my channel. It looks so awesome, but I know it's going to be a challenge, like looking at it. But hey, I can accept that challenge. If I can raise 2 teenagers, I can take on the Hogwarts puzzle. See, we're almost there. We don't have that big of a pile left. But some of these, not cheaper puzzles, but kind of when they're made of compressed paper, they do kind of tear a little bit. So we do want to be careful when we're separating them so that doesn't happen and we tear pieces of our puzzle. I had a puzzle I bought a while ago. It was fairly cheap and it actually like tore. That was very frustrating, especially when you're trying to put it all together and the torn pieces just won't give you that nice flat finish. Not a end piece. Some more Scooby-Doo trivia. For those of you who know me, know I do really enjoy trivia. I really like it. At work, every Friday, I do a email and I always put fun facts or trivia in there to kind of brighten everybody's day. So another fun fact about Scooby-Doo is that Scooby-Doo's name actually came from a Frank Sinatra song. I don't know if you all have heard it, Strangers in the Night. If you have heard that song, you know a part of that song is Doobie Doobie Doo. Well, when Silverman, the creator of Scooby-Doo, heard that song, he heard Scooby Dooby Doo. So that gave Scooby-Doo his name. I thought that was very interesting, especially I do enjoy classic music and classic movies. So when I heard that, I thought that was very interesting. See, we're almost done. Almost done. Edge pieces. I also know another little bit of Scooby-Doo trivia. Scrappy-Doo, when he was first introduced, which is Scooby-Doo's nephew, I want to say. I completely blanked on that right now. But a lot of parents wrote in another edge piece about that because they thought of him as a bully. So when he was first introduced, they had to kind of tone him down a little bit because they did get so many complaints about him being a bully. So I thought that was very interesting. Well, going back, because before I did this puzzle, I went back and I watched a few episodes. And I don't really see him as a bully. I just really saw him as annoying. Annoying little kid, right? Growing up with brothers and sisters and having kids myself. I'm like, that's just a typical child. It's not really a bully. So he's still just looking for our our edges. And just real quick, I like to just give a shout out for my cool gloves. They're actually the story of the Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. My hands get really cold, so I do have quite a bit of gloves. Even in the summer, my hands will be really cold. I say it's because I have a warm heart, not an edge piece. So my heart has all my warmth, so my hands get so cold. Not an edge piece. So I do really enjoy gloves, and these are really nice, especially where I work. Sometimes it's super cold, and I do work putting in a lot of information in the computer, so my hands are always out. So having gloves like this is helpful because you still have your fingers available, but you still have the warmth of your gloves. I've noticed that this is going to be kind of not difficult, but it's going to be very different because lots of the edge pieces are very little. They're very small compared to your regular pieces. And I've noticed, especially with the higher the count of a puzzle, you're going to get these weird small pieces. When I did the 1500 piece puzzle, I had such weird sizes. I was like, where's this even going to go? And then while you're working, you're like, okay, I see it, but it's like that's just such a weird shape for a puzzle piece. So I've noticed the bigger the puzzle, the some of the pieces are going to be a lot smaller and very odd shaped. I'm really hoping to redo that villains puzzle for you all because it's beautiful. It was a beautiful puzzle. I love Disney as well. Like I said, I'm a kid at heart. So I really love Disney, and I really do like the villains. So I really enjoyed that puzzle. The only thing with that puzzle is my, like I mentioned earlier, my dog really, well, she thinks these are like biscuits, I guess, or snacks. So if they fall on the ground, she'll eat it. So that villains piece, I am missing a few pieces because I wasn't careful and I dropped some, and she's quick. She is quick. Maybe later I will introduce you to her. Here we do have an edge piece, and it is actually a color. I'm looking at the box, and I don't even know. I think this is just like one of those weird shapes, because it looks like it's going to be here, but it's actually not part of the edge. So I'm going to just keep this to the side, just in case it is. Thank you, Javier. I love my gloves. I think they're really cool too. Thank you, Monica. I actually have another pair at work. They're Pride and Prejudice on them. Like I said, I really like old songs, old movies, old books. Really enjoy the classics, which is why I do have like the Raven gloves, I have Pride and Prejudice gloves. Actually, my sister got me these gloves, and I kind of introduced her to the company. I showed her, I'm like, I really like these gloves, and not last Christmas, but the Christmas before she got them for me, and I was super excited. I really love them. So just again, looking for these edge pieces. Like I said, this is what's going to take the longest, because once you have your frame, going through it, it's going to be so easy. And later on, probably sometime this week, I am actually going to go ahead and review a puzzle organizer to kind of help you organize your pieces while you're doing your puzzle. I saw it at Walmart, and I thought, okay, this would be really great, especially sometimes, like I said, with my dog, I will drop a puzzle because I just have them all like this. And if I could have something that can organize my pieces for me, that would be super great. So again, I'm just looking for it, my edges. And I have some really cool puzzles that I'm going to go ahead and do in the future. I have a murder mystery puzzle that I'm hoping to do next after this one. And it's while you're doing the puzzle, you're solving this mystery. So that one I think is going to be really fun. I really hope you all can go ahead and join me on that one as well. I'm not going to lose any pieces. Don't worry. Because if I lose them, they will be outside in my dog's poop. So I am going to be very careful. Because like I said, while I do my puzzles, they're all just here. And I'll move or I'll get something and I won't notice a piece fall and she will eat it. So I've actually had one puzzle that I've done, and I've done several, that I've actually had all the pieces. Every other puzzle I've done, I've been missing 1 or 2 pieces. So I'm really hoping that Organizer bot is going to go ahead and help me with that. Especially like when you have your complete puzzle and you see that one piece is missing, kind of breaks your heart a little bit. You're like, it's not complete. And you're like, I really wish there was a site that sold just those few pieces. Here, edge piece. Those few pieces that you needed, they'd make a fortune. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one who loses puzzle pieces. And I'm sure I'm not the only one whose dog likes to think of these as biscuits or snacks. Not blaming her. I'm the one who drops them. But at least I know where they go. They go to her. See, if you notice, lots of our edges are yellow. So this one I'm thinking is just going to be a weirded shaped piece, but we still just want to keep it. Like this one too. See how it kind of looks like it could be an edge, but I know this is going to be the mummy. And we know this is going to be the mummy because of this line and how the mummy lines go the same way. So these are just probably odd shaped pieces. I'm just going to put them to the side. Just here, still looking for pieces. And I don't know if you all were aware, Casey Kasem, I don't know if y'all, a lot of you probably don't know who he is. Very old. I guess you could say he was on the radio and on TV. He did like the top 10 or top 20 Billboard kind of stuff. Well, he actually voiced Shaggy for about 30 years. The reason that he quit is kind of crazy. So he is a vegetarian, Casey Kasem. This is a edge piece. So he is a vegetarian, Casey Kasem, and he wanted Shaggy to be a vegetarian as well. Well, the people who own Scooby-Doo wanted Shaggy to be in a Burger King commercial. And Casey Kasem was like, well, I don't eat meat. I don't think I could go ahead and do that commercial. So he quit. He just decided, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to voice him any longer. If he can't be a vegetarian, I'm not going to do it. Eventually, they did agree, gave in to his demands, and they made Shaggy a vegetarian. So that's something I didn't know, that Shaggy was a vegetarian, but he is because of that reason. Casey Kasem would not do a Burger King commercial. See, we're almost done finding these edges. Buttercup is my dog. the one who eats the pieces. And there was just a comment that said she's going to eat all the puzzle pieces. Well, she's not, because I'm being careful, trying to be careful, and I'm not going to drop my puzzle pieces. So Buttercup is not going to eat all my puzzle pieces. I'm not going to lie, I think she thinks they're tasty. She's still flicking. I don't know about you all, but the new movies of Scooby-Doo, the live action movies, I didn't really find them as entertaining as I thought I was going to. I was really excited when they first came out, especially at the time they came out. I was a teenager myself, so I was super excited, and they just didn't do it for me. I didn't think it was as good as the cartoon. The cartoon was always so interesting, and you're always like, what? It's that person? No. Even though part of you kind of knew it was him or her. We're almost there. Some of them, when you do get them, they do stick. So we just want to make sure that we do separate them carefully so we don't tear them like I did earlier. So we're going to go ahead and just, and I can already tell you the edge is going to be a little difficult like I mentioned earlier because they all are yellow. So what we're going to try to do is just look for the ones that connect correctly together. If you can tell with this puzzle, the sizes range from completely different. These are like so different, like very different shapes, sizes. So this one is going to be a little tricky to put together, but I think the harder they are, the funner it's going to be. So another edge piece. Okay. Edge pieces. And this is the most tedious part. See how this is so different size and shape than all the others? So it's going to be interesting when we start actually putting it together. I think for future puzzles, I may just do this part before, as we can just start getting to the puzzle already. It's a learn by experience kind of thing. See how, and this is so weird how thin this top of the puzzle is. Very easy to bend. So we do want to be very careful that we don't bend any of our pieces either while we're working it. See, very thin, very easy to bend or break. I've broken puzzle pieces also. Don't want to do that either. And I've broken them by trying to force them in, and then when you try to take it out, kind of bend it, you're like, oops, shouldn't have done that. Not an edge piece. And of course, if you're going through this quickly, you may miss one or two. And at the end, when you're completing your frame, you may see that one or two are missing. Usually, if you're careful, they might be in the box with your other pieces. You just kind of slipped past you. That's happened to me before as well. Also, when you open your box from the bag it comes in, make sure you check the bag before you throw the bag away, because I've heard of people leaving puzzle pieces in there and throwing them away with the bag. And they're like, wait, let me go back and check. And then go back and check the bag, and there'll be like a puzzle piece or two in there. It's important checking that bag before you throw it away. Almost done. Here is an edge piece. There we go. I don't know if any of you have been or have recently been to the Six Flags in Fiesta, Texas. They actually have a Scooby-Doo ride there that I found it fun. It's a sit down, kind of go through the dark ride. So if it's really hot day, that's a nice ride to just go sit down, let your kids play with the little shooting guns they have in there. You get to relax a little bit and get out of the sun. So I think we're almost done. See how weird shaped that one is? When I first started doing puzzles, I thought they were all going to be those typical puzzle shapes. You know, something like that. And then you realize, okay, no, they're not. And that's you're like, okay, this is what makes puzzle fun. Like, you have to fit these weird shapes together. See, we're almost at our edge, having all our pieces. And then we can start on our edge. And I think we have all our edge pieces. None of these look like edges. So now we are done with this part. While you're working your puzzles, you're going to see a lot of this. A lot of mess. I just wipe it. Now we have our edges. So what I do is I just kind of put them all up right. Put them all up right. This kind of gives you a good look of what you're working with. And sometimes I see these and I'm like, are these really gonna be enough pieces for the whole frame? Am I missing some? And then as you're doing it, you're like, oh wow, okay. This is enough pieces for the whole frame. See, this is going to kind of make it easy. You know, it's going to be the Submarine Man's hand. So that's a good way to start. When you find something like that, that's easy. You know, okay, I know what it is. And just put them all out just so you can see them all up, right side up and not on top of each other. And especially because we have this one, we know it's going to go this way. And this is a good way to start. We know it's going to be on the side. So we know this is a good place to start. So I know it took a long time to take out all these edges. But I want to thank you all so much for taking the time to start this puzzle with me. I am going to end my first live stream here. I want to thank you all for joining me today. I am going to kind of work on this and do another one when we have the whole frame complete so we can start putting everything together. If you really liked this, please subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I will be giving updates on my puzzle. I'll be doing live streams. As I mentioned, I will also be doing a video to review that puzzle separator, where it's easy to kind of just keep all your puzzle pieces together so you don't just have them all in a box like this. So again, thank you all for joining me. You'll have a great evening. Please keep up with my Instagram and Twitter. I'll leave updates with my puzzle, and I will post when I will go live again so you can complete this puzzle together. Thank you. Have a great evening.